Hi everyone. We're going to finish up the whole line equation thing, slope, y-intercept, rate of change, IV. Okay, so I'm going to try to make these lessons a little shorter and maybe just sort of get right to the point, because it all kind of comes together and hopefully it'll start to make a little more sense. And they won't seem as sort of like far apart here, this and everything. So let's start with slope and y-intercept. What am I talking about when I mentioned that? The slope is the rate of change. Exact same thing. I've brought up this. This is a line equation. Okay? So there's different names we're going to call it and different ways we represent it. This will tell you where a line is exactly on a grid. So every line has a slope, which is a rate of change. Every line has a y-intercept. You've heard the word intercept. If you follow football, what is an interception? An interception is when the other team grabs the ball when you've intended it's your own. In other words, it's a meeting. Think of it as a meeting. The other team meets the ball, they grab it, they get it. So this is where this line intercepts the y-axis. Because every line, if you picture a graph, any line that goes through this graph, these are all lines. Now, the rate of change is represented by how steep the line is and which way it leans. Every line has a steepness to it. Some are steeper than others. Think of it like a hill. And they're all eventually going to cross the y-axis at some point. So if we know when it crosses the y-axis or where, and we know how steep it is, we've defined that line. Okay, now let's turn to this. So now you see they're all the same thing. The slope, the rate of change, and m. M we use because that's the letter this is the general equation for a specific line. We have to know what m and b is. We have to know what the slope and the y-intercept is. Y-intercept is also the IV, and it's represented by b. So these are two things you got to know. Okay, so for example, if you said the rate of change is 3, slope is the rate of change. It's 3. That means I put it in here. If you're told the y-intercept is -2, y-intercept, it goes right there. So the equation of a line with a rate of change of 3 and a y-intercept of -2 is y equals 3 times x minus 2. So the slope is always multiplied by x. See, it's right beside 3 times x, and then the number thrown on at the end is the y-intercept. That's the line. What if I told you the slope is 8, the y-intercept is 1? That means 8 goes beside x, and 1 gets added in the end. Let's try it the other way around. Let's say I give you an equation, y equals -5x plus 10. What is the slope of that? Whatever's beside x, -5. What's the y-intercept? Whatever number's stuck at the end, 10. It's as simple as that. Okay. Actually, you know what? Since I got you here, let's do the next. No, I'm going to do some more examples. I want to show you this. Because if you're looking at what I last showed you, scratching your head, that sheet that I posted, where you have to do a little bit of reading and going through it, and it's getting you stuck, I want to help you through that. I got a message from Nick about the slope of the y-intercept. Don't worry, we'll get to that. No worries, no worries. Okay, so I'm going to write a bunch of lines here. These are all different lines. Negative 3 over 2 times x plus 6. Y equals 7x minus 1. Y equals 3/4 plus 0.01. Y equals negative 2.213. Sorry, there should be an x there. X minus 10. Okay, if you're sitting there saying, I don't get it, watch. The reason why you don't get it, you're probably trying to make it more difficult than it is. These are 4 different lines. They're all different. They're going to be in different spots. This is, let's call this line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4. So for line 1, what is the slope? The slope, because I'm lazy, I'm not going to write out the whole word slope, and I'm definitely not going to write out rate of change. I'd rather write rock, or even better, M. M is the letter that stands for the slope. What is the slope? Whatever's beside x. Negative 3 over 2. What is the y-intercept, also known as the IV, also known as B? I'll use B because it's the shortest and I'm lazy. What is B? B is the number that's stuck at the end. 6. Done. I know exactly where that is, and I'm going to show you in another video because I got to draw a grid, okay? And remember, I'll put this up. That is the whole equation where it comes from. They remind you, yes, the slope goes beside x, and B is the y-intercept. You stick it at the end. L2, what's the slope? What's beside x? 7. What's the y-intercept? The number at the end. Not just 1, negative 1. Always take these signs with it. They're very important. If I say, I'm going to give you $100, you want to make sure I give you positive $100 and not negative $100. That would mean you're giving me $100. You don't want that. Always take the sign with it. Very, very important. If I said it's 30 degrees outside, would you want to go for a picnic? And then I said, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. It's negative 30 out. Well, I've ruined your plans for the day. Signs are important. Negative 3 over 2. See, I took that with it. Positive 6. Positive 7. Negative 1. That's where it crosses. L3. What are the stats on L3? What's the slope? What's beside x? 3 over 4. What's the y-intercept? 0.01. They're both positive. It's not a big deal. L4. Slope. What's the slope? Negative, okay, what's beside x? Negative 2.213. What's the y-intercept? Negative 10. Okay? See, it's much easier than you're probably thinking. Probably making it complicated if you're having a hard time. You get it. Let me do it the other way around. I'm going to come up with 4 new lines. I'm just going to tell you the slope and the y-intercept, and I want you to create the equation. Okay? So let's get rid of L1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's get rid of these answers. Okay, so now I say I've got L5, L6, L7, L8. L meaning line, we got them numbered. So with L5, I say the slope is -1/10. I say B is 8. L6, slope is, what's your favorite fraction? 7/8. That's one of my favorites too. B, I'm just pulling these completely out of the blue. Okay, what's B? 0. Yeah, let's try 0. L7, what's the slope? 5/4. B equals -3. L8, M equals 1. B equals -1. Let's do that. Okay, easy. Now, we want to come up, what are the equations? This is the question. I've created these out of the blue, randomly. What is the equation? Y equals slope, -1/10, times x. So always put the x beside it. When they're right beside one another, that means they're multiplied. -1/10 times x. What is the y-intercept? It's 8. Positive 8. Okay? Y6. Right beside x. Slope. 7/8. Put the y-intercept at the end. What's the y-intercept? 0. Okay. Next one. Slope goes right beside x. The slope is 5/4 times x. Add the y-intercept at the end. And the last one, slope is 1, so it's 1x. Y-intercept is -1. Done. It's easy. It's just filling in stuff. Just pulling out information, filling in stuff. Next, I want to go over how do we take this, write it on a graph. How do we look at a graph of a line and get that? Easy. You'll get it. All right? So let's stop this for now. This is going to be the first in the series, and then